Sure, came here. Coming at you from chooseyourrelationships.com. Off of Love Can't Wait. A couple of weeks ago, I did a video about what you don't know about being black that no one else will tell you living in the United States of America. And I got a lot of good responses from it. And I wanted to expand on it. Because you can probably guess, if you're a black male, there's a lot of stuff you need to know that almost no one talks about, especially in the mainstream media. And you're not going to hear about it within the mainstream media because it doesn't fit the narrative. The way it is now, that's exactly the way they want it to be. You know, you see black males going to jail every day. You know, black males doing all the crime every day. And black males abusing women every day. That's how they want it to be. So you would think, just looking at the television, you would think that, man, we're doing all the crime. We're doing everything. So what? Everybody else is great. No one else is doing anything. That's a very illogical way to look at it, but most people in America, aren't really thinking people. They're like robots. When people living here, and when people come over here, they're like robots. They don't care. They just do whatever, whenever, however. And there's a lot of ass kissing going on out here too. By the way, I'm gonna take a drink. But there's another thing you have to be aware of if you're a black man living in this country. You're not going to be able to have a good time like you want to, like you should be able to, because there's a lot of double standards in this country. You know, I've bought a lot of shit since I've been living. I've had nice cars, nice jewelry, nice women. I'm talking women from all walks of life. And this is where I run into a lot of red tape, so to speak. Because when you go to buy cars, and let's say you, in the beginning, you know, I was naive to a lot of things. But when you go to buy a car and they ask you, hey, how much you want to put down? You say, hey, I will put 10,000 down, 20,000 down. Now, a lot of times, if you're not a well-known guy or celebrity or just a person of influence in your city or your town, they'll start looking at you like, hey, where you getting all this money from? You know, you're just another black guy. What do you do for a living? And then if they see you with a nice car, you know, well, a lot of people might have a problem. Cops, they'll stop you. That's gonna happen if you have an above, I would say, luxury car. Let's say if you got a car that's, you don't even have to be. It can be a car like a Beamer, a Mercedes Benz, or a car over $100,000. You're going to get stopped. That's just how that is. If you travel around the country like I do, you're going to get stopped. That's just how that shit is. There's no way around it. You're going to get stopped somewhere in this country. You know, if you surround yourself with a lot of women, if you know a lot of women, and if you're out and about with women, something is going to happen. It might go over your head. It's going to be subtle. It's like if you're in the room, if you've been around and have the experience like I have, you're going to know that something's just not right. Maybe you're getting bad service. Maybe things aren't the way it's supposed to be at the restaurant or at the place of business, wherever you may be. You know, something is going to happen. You know, and it happens when you least expect, and it might not happen to you directly. Keep that in mind. It might happen to the bad experience might happen to the person that you're with, or whether it's a group thing or just you and her or whichever the case may be. Because there's just a lot of haters out here, and people are being conditioned to behave in the way they do. And another thing you have to realize, you're always going to have one hand behind your back. You're never going to have enough support in doing whatever you want to do. I don't give a damn what you might be into. I don't care if you're an athlete. I don't care if you're an entertainer. I don't care if you're just a regular dude, just out of your house, just trying to sell some shit, start a business, make extra money. You're never going to have enough support. I don't give a damn. I've known people that done some amazing shit with very little resources, and to this day they still don't have enough support. And it's set up that way because, again, people are being conditioned to do what they do. I mean, I've seen white guys, for example, they'll gather a group of people and sell them on their ideas and what they're trying to do, and all of a sudden shit will come to a form, and everything will come together and form like Voltron, like Transformers. Everything. I mean, the white guy can create some shit, make some shit happen in 6 months, a year, 18 months. It's going to take me, or maybe you, if you're a black male, it might take you 5 years. And he'll do it in 2 years, 18 months. Because you don't have the support. I don't have the support. And the little support that you do have, it's not going to be enough. You're going to have to grind it out, regardless of what you're trying to get into. You're always going to have one hand tied behind your back. And if you work a job, or if you're in the workforce, you're never going to be able to make enough money at that job. It's never going to be enough. I don't give a damn if you make $50,000, $60,000. It's never going to be enough. And the average black person doesn't even make $50,000 at any institution. I don't give a damn what position they have. The top, I think the top. Well, it's only 3% of people make over 100,000. So when they speak, they talking about white folks. They're not talking about black folks. I think the average black person I know today, and there's a lot of them. I know a lot of people. They might make 40,000. They might. They make between 30 to 40,000. That's it. And some make less than 30,000. So if you're a black male, you're not going to get paid. You're not going to get paid what you're worth. You're never going to get paid what you're worth for these jobs. And you're probably not going to get promoted at these jobs. You're probably going to have to supplement or have multiple streams of income, because you're not going to get promoted in most cases. You might get promoted 2 to 3 times, might make it the supervisor, management, but there's a glass ceiling. You probably won't be general manager. I mean, you probably won't be general manager working at a Fortune 500 company. I'm going to put it like this. I used to work for G4S, right? And it's probably the biggest security company in the world. And I've never seen a black general manager. Think about this now. Think about this. This is probably the biggest security company in the world. I don't know any company that's bigger because they're buying out everybody. You know, look G4S up. They're buying out everybody. They're buying out all the contracts worldwide. And I've never seen a black general manager. I'm serious. So just like I said, this is a $1 billion company by now. It's $1 billion company. They got the biggest contracts. They got Bank of America as a contract. You know. So I've never seen a black general manager, a branch manager. I've never seen it in America. So other companies are doing the same thing. It's no different. So you're going to have to supplement your income. You're going to have multiple streams of income. You're not going to ever get paid what you're worth at these companies. And another thing, if you're a black male, it's in your best interest to leave something for your kids so they won't have to start from scratch. You can't pass down the job. That's impossible. You gotta leave your kids with some type of asset. Or even when they get out of high school, just make sure they have something to start off with. Whether it's cash, investments, assets, connections. Don't let them have to start from scratch. If they have to start from scratch, it's going to be a struggle. So your kids should be in a much easier position than you starting off in life. That should be your goal. You know? But I'm telling you, I can't tell you how many times I've been traveling across America, going to different towns, different cities, and I've seen white people wilding the fuck out, man. Yelling, screaming, doing what they do, drinking, partying, or whatever. No problem, right? Black people try to do that shit. Black, or anybody else for that matter. Could be Latinos or whatever. Police show up. I'm telling you, it's double standard. You're not going to be able to have a good time. See, they don't see us the same. White folks don't see us the same. They don't see us as, some cases, I don't think they see us as people. Really. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't really think they see us as human beings sometimes. And a lot of times we don't get the benefit of the doubt. That's another thing you have to be aware of. You know, white people, just in general, they're always going to get the benefit of the doubt if cops show up. You are never going to get the benefit of the doubt. You know, and another thing you have to be aware of. You can't hide who you are. You can't hide who you are. Really. I mean, you can hide it for a while, but The more you talk, the more you expose yourself. So in other words, see, I used to be naive again. I used to tell people I'm ex-military and tell them my experiences, where I traveled, and the people that I met, and all that good stuff. I stopped doing that shit because what I found out is whenever I tell someone that I'm ex-military or I've traveled the world and met all these different types of people from all walks of life, what happens is the conversation change. The conversation change sometimes immediately. They look at me completely different because what happens is most white folks start looking like, wait a minute, you're a different type of guy. You feel good about yourself. And then if they see you with some very attractive women that they don't think you should be around, they be like, wait a minute, there has to be something special about this guy. He feels good about himself. He's confident. And they don't want you to be confident in yourself. They want you to be walking around looking all raggedy, disrespecting yourself. Because most people make decisions on stereotypes. And you have to keep in mind as well that all human behavior is based on consequences. So this is why you see a lot of cops doing what they do to us, because nothing's going to happen to them. There's no consequences. They're not going to lose anything. They're not going to jail. This is why you see, if you turn on television, you never see black people say anything about white folks. If they do, it's going to be kind of watered down, not really saying very much. They'll turn the other cheek and act like nothing happened. Because if they say the wrong thing about white folks on television, they fired. They're going to be off that television. That's what happened to Stephen A. Smith. And he wasn't even on television. He was on Twitter when he made a statement about women. Because they know they're going to be fired if they say the wrong thing. Now, they'll go off on black people all day because we can't do nothing about it. We don't have our own media. We don't have no political clout in this country. But they never say anything about gays. They never say anything about white folks. And if you really pay attention, the most powerful white folks in this country and around the world, they never get talked about. Their families never get talked about. It's not because they great people, it's because they got clout. And if you say the wrong thing about certain groups of people or certain families, your ass is going to be floating in a river. And you're going to be fired. You're going to be fired, then you'll be floating in the river. So this is where you gotta know this shit, man. You gotta be aware of this shit. You gotta know what's going on out here, man. You can't get caught slipping. You gotta pick your battles. You can't be walking around talking about, I know my rights. You ain't got no rights. Nobody cares about no rights. Who cares? Man, look. This country, this world, really, the laws are created by attorneys, lawyers, for them against you. How is that? I mean, how does that make you feel? The laws are created by lawyers against you for them to work in their best interest. So the laws is not set up against them because they're attorneys. They're doing it in that fits their best interest. That's gonna help them long term. So when you turn on your television, when these bullshit politicians start talking, most of these women, guys, they went to law school. A good, at least 70-80% of them went to law school. They don't have our best interests. I can't relate to any of these people. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. That's why they pass laws and public policy all day, every day. That serves their agenda. That's in the best interest of big businesses. So until we get some political clout, until we buy some of these politicians, they're not going to do anything for you. Money talks in this country. If you don't pay these people, you're not going to get anything done. Votes by itself don't work. Votes has to be backed by money. That's how this shit works. That's why they keep saying money talks. The rappers tried to tell you this shit years ago. Y'all don't listen. Yeah, Scarface tried to tell you money and the power. Money and the power. I don't give a. I got money and the power. Scarface tried to tell you. Tupac tried to tell you. Voting by itself don't work. You need the votes have to be backed by money. That's where the political clout comes about. But the only problem is we're not organized. Because we're like individual people. We're all over the place. One person say this, one person say that. There's strength in numbers. If there's hundreds and thousands of people that's down for the same cause, you don't have to be in the same city. You can be around the world. You can be across the state. But being on the same page is a mindset. Once you get your money together and you can write up a contract, you pay that politician and say, hey, this is what we need done. And shit will go down. Every politician's going to do it? No. Every politician's not going to do it. You probably have to run through a lot of politicians. Just like you're going to have to run through a lot of people to get anything done in this country. Or get anything done, period. You're going to have to probably run through a lot of people. It's going to be a lot of rejections and a lot of failures, a lot of ups and downs. But that's how it is. If you're a black man, you're going to have to be a kind of like a social scientist. Because, like I said, you're never going to have enough support. Like, it's certainly not the way it should be. That's just how that shit is. But once you got the money, you get organized with people, y'all come together, put your money together, and you can vote as a block, backed by money. And if the politician doesn't do what you say, you can embarrass him, slander him in public, make him look bad. Like they did that guy in Detroit. I think it was the mayor or somebody in Detroit. Yeah, they embarrass him, slander him, go online, embarrass his ass, start a campaign, make him look bad, destroy him in public. That's how you do it. And if he don't answer your phone call, as a matter of fact, once you get done with him, slandering him, making him look like a fool, embarrassing him, he'll call you if he stopped returning your phone calls. Because he or she, they'll be begging you to, hey, please stop this, man. You're destroying me. You're ruining my career. then that politician will come back to the table, and you get some shit done. That's how you get some shit done, man. You gotta. But the only problem is if it's just one person, you're easy target. This is why there's strength in numbers. You know, because if there's a lot of people, you can't take everybody out. Shit. If it's one person, that's easy. All you gotta do is take him out. Shit, he or she out. Problem solved. Now I'm giving you some good game. You know, I hope you really think about what I'm saying, man, and pass this along. I'm dropping a hot fire right now. But this video is starting to be a little too long. So if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave your comments below, check out my blog, chooseyourrelationships.com. Until next time, Sharp Gamers out. Peace.